$200,000 FTMO challenge passed in just 6 days. The reason why it's still showing 5 days is because I think I have to wait for the time to reset. All right, so we just passed a $200,000 challenge. This is phase 1, and today I scalp. Scalping is not my thing, right? But I see a strategy that it's really hard for you to see. And I used to trade this back when I first started trading on year starting, and it used to work really, really well. I would catch pips like crazy pip, right? But I don't do that anymore because I feel like scalping and my emotion was, yeah, it's not gonna work. But is I take the scalping trade and I win. I will show you guys later, but let's jump into this one first. So you can see a number of trade 36. I do not take 36 trade. The reason why I see 36 because I played 0.11 on the weekend. I was trying to trade Bitcoin and all of that, but I think my actual number of trade was around probably 7. Average risk ratio reward, my max is usually 1 to 5. It depends on what I see in the market. If you've been around the market for a while, it just go on based on common sense, right? I feel like this strategy that I'm using is not strategy I can teach, right? It's based on, if you have to watch me trade every day for you to understand what I'm looking at, because I do not like have a specific way of trading. It's just that I go in the market, I just analyze. So my win rate is 55%. From since day one, I told you guys on this strategy, my win rate is 55%. Trades, we take 2 trades. As you guys can see, the first trade, I entered this trade, then I was risking 0.5% because remember I told you guys I'm not a scalper, but I was 0.5% on this trade, and I was like, you know what, let me just risk 1%, and if the trade is a win, it's a win. If I lost, it's just 1%, right? Then that's why I add the another 0.5%. Then that's why it becomes a win, right? It's like I only trade for only 8 minutes because as you guys can see, this is the trade, right? It was a very simple trade. I follow the trend. I see 3 rejection. I wait for those rejections to break because most people now, what market was doing around there was it's trying to bait the buyers, the people that are trying to buy, the scalpers that are looking for buy or day trade or whatever, right? It's baiting them. It's like, okay, fine, I reject 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Are you gonna enter? It give you guys a nice double bottom. Are you gonna enter? For those who that enter now, boom, oh, they go up for, quick 1 to 1. Then they start being happy, be like, hey, I'm about to win this trade. Then guess what? Market drop. If you look on the higher time frames on the 1 hour, right, you're gonna see that market be dropping for a while. It be dropping from since, I think, from since yesterday, right? Market be dropping from since yesterday. And if you look at all my trades, you can see that all of my trades from since day one, 80% of the time I was only taking sell, because when I look at the daily, everything was dropping, right? So I was looking for mostly sell than buy. But from yesterday, I called out a trade. For those who listen, I called out a trade. I told you guys that if markets break this level, market's gonna drop, and I say just wait for market to break, and you can enter or wait for break and retest, whatever you want to do, but market is gonna drop. And for those who enter, you win a trade. For those who do not enter, you have nothing to lose. But the reason why I entered this trade was very simple, right? I was gonna enter a day trade, but market was consolidating for the whole day. Like, I was like, you know what, I cannot deal with that. So I was like, I'm gonna wait for a perfect nice breakout of the consolidation, then I'm gonna wait for a scalping trade. So after market break this level that I told you guys yesterday to take a sell, right? I was waiting for a retest, but market never retest, right? So I was like, cool. Sometimes I will enter right away, but this time around, because of what market was doing up here, consolidating, I was kind of skeptical that it might break out and shoot back up, and I don't want that. So I decided to wait for a retest, right? That never happened. So I was like, okay, cool, right? And this is when I start thinking about scalping. When I start seeing all this rejection, right? And I feel like market was just baiting the buyers, and people are just entering and show a double bottom, blah blah blah, and people probably enter. I was like, then as soon as I feel like as soon as market break, I was like, oh shit, now it take all the sellers out, buyers out. Now it's my turn to enter. That's when I entered this trade, the first trade. I was aiming for 125 on this trade. I was only risking 0.5. I was only risking 0.5 on this first trade because guess what? I'm not a scalper. I do not want to scalp. So I risked $1,000 on this trade, and I was aiming for 1 to 5. 1 to 5. But in a second, I was like, you know what? Let me just risk 1%. Let me risk the $2,000. And if market is a win, then it's a win. If I lost, then I lost 1%, and that's nothing. I still have 6% more. I can wait tomorrow. So that's when I add another trade, another 0.5%, and I aim for 1 to 3 to pass the challenge because I was up around 7% alone. I only need 3%. I was up, yes, 7%. I only need 3%. And that's how I passed this challenge, right? I just recently received the FTMO verification, as you guys can see. But please subscribe, punch the like button.